Salutations! Searching for Rinoa episode 9, as well as my 100th video on the YouTube channel. And what this will be is my retrospective on how and why this channel and its content came to be. My being on YouTube comes from wanting to comment on videos that I liked. I started watching YouTube vids through I found out about YouTube through a YouTube user by the name of Typeon. I forget if there's numbers at the end of that name or not, but the videos of that channel consisted of tool-assisted speedruns for NES games, thus hitting me right in the nostalgia. All of this was like early YouTube too, like I'm talking star ratings early YouTube. Then came the game reviewers to watch, and one in particular by the name of The Gaming Goose did a Let's Play, which is what he called it, of Captain Saver, and one of his other videos would list a bunch of other Let's Players, which is how I found out about that phenomenon. And over time, with people streaming games and the advent of social media, I actually made friends with some of them. I was checking out Super Mario Bros. Crossover at one time while on a Skype call, and some of them were like, hey, you should do Let's Plays, because your commentaries would be funny, I guess. And you gotta do, like, you can't do post-commentary, you gotta do it, like, on the fly, so. Now I'll go into the history of how the actual channel and videos came into being at the beginning, which at the beginning had like 2 videos and barely 20 subs in. The first couple of videos were at best because I was new to everything about it. I was for at least one video using a $15 headset while having no clue what I was doing for the tagged video. That's why the sound on that's like really weird, and I'm like, hello, is this Searching for Rinoa? Like, I sound nothing at all like I do now. Kind of practice a little bit. Probably around, that video is probably around, what, 3, maybe 4 years old by now. It's the first video I ever made, and I needed a second person to walk me through it. That's why, if you watch that and you can hear someone else in that, that's Nicro. He helped me with that. That's something which become a trend later, the whole second person walking me through things to figure out how everything works. Then the video of me telling those sub to me that there was an actual reason to. My original intention was to drop this video on Christmas Day, because the Hapag that I used to record game footage was a present from my parents, but they mistakenly got a less compatible model than the one I wanted, the one I asked for. That time was also where the microphone that I use now and the pop filter that came in as well. I was still using Windows Live Movie Maker, and I didn't know I actually had to lower the game volume to make my voice be heard in it, so that video was poorly handled at best, but the beginning of what would hope to be something I'd enjoy doing. The foundation was there, nonetheless. My thank you video came after that, where I didn't have to worry about game footage and such. I was just putting together the best take I could manage with Audacity. The one thing I've learned since the beginning for recordings, but was still kind of learning things. I had to thank the people who helped befriend it and inspired me to seek out this type of venture where I would just make videos. I knew Let's Playing would be the main focus of the channel, but I had ideas for other things too. I don't know if it technically counts because my video came before it, but a day before Valentine's Day, Let's Play X-Men Legends began. Audio was still kind of I underestimated how good my mic picked things up. Like you can hear in the beginning of the video, I'm opening up a can of soda. You hear like the in the background. My commentary was surprisingly decent. I didn't hate how I sounded and was getting positive feedback from the viewers on comments. Now, a day after that, of course, was kind of my singing debut, quote unquote. This was very spur of the moment, thinking what I was going to do for Valentine's Day. Like, oh man, I thought I'd do something special. So I decided I'd sing, and admittedly, this was very rushed and not very good, being that was my actually first time singing into an actual microphone with the intent to put it up on my channel and get people to notice. Once again, I found myself surprised by the views and positive feedback. This video was when I knew I had something. I just sat back and was like, okay, I got something here. People are being entertained by what I put up. I now have the confidence to move forward and actually put more focus into the channel. So I felt like I arrived, but was still kind of lacking confidence being new at it. Just kind of jumping in on the first game I thought of doing. I figured, okay, X-Men Legends. It's a lengthy enough RPG, giving me plenty of videos and plenty of chances to get it just right and make it kind of a learning experience throughout. Throughout the LP, I changed from Movie Maker to Camtasia. I figured out where the pop filter goes on this thing, how to cut out long loading screens, which the game had in abundance, for some of you that already know, how loud I should be compared to the game's audio, editing things in and out if I need to, cutting things out, in general relying on myself more, and hopefully annotations a little less. And yeah, I did keep a list of beginnings and endings for when I would open and close a video of Legends. I'm curious to know which one was your favorite. Mine is this. X-Men Legends. Talking about X-Men Legends. Shadowing4Rinoa was a meme that Zavira Rubino had started up, and I was being just tardy to the party, basically, and figuring out more and more about Camtasia and how that worked. King of Venomous Vapors, that comes just me messing around with color editing like I like to do. Established characters in fighting games I liked and stuck Let's Players and friends that I knew on them. I knew that sometimes I had opinions where 140 characters on Twitter just wouldn't cut it, and that's how Soapboxing4Rinoa came about, where I'd basically talk about whatever I felt like. Now, weirdly enough, these are my most edited, and I usually type out what I'm going to say on a notepad and then recite what I wrote down so I won't get lost or tongue-tied. Mostly because there's a video on YouTube called CM Punk Promo Review by YouTube users Yappa Pies, an old channel that me, two other fellow wrestling fans, GifPapum, GFPPM, and Vicious117 would do reviews on certain wrestling elements, and in that video there's a good minute where I'm just like the deer lost in the headlights. Like, I got nothing. I'm about to speak and nothing comes out. Like, total brain fart. Complete dead air for like a full minute. So now whenever I'm just talking about something, I would edit in Audacity to try and keep out most of the times where I go, that you'd normally hear when I'm LPing or streaming, where my commentary is more as it happens on the fly. It's like live commentary. World Heroes playthrough I did because mostly Hapag disagreed with most compilation games. Like, I wanted to go through all of Fatal Fury because that's one of my favorite series, but it doesn't work on Hapag. The audio of the game just completely shuts down and refuses to record even if I wanted to. Even I could put in, like, edit, like, audio later. Like, it just won't work. So I figured I'd do World Heroes playthrough and talk about in annotations kind of the history about how the game worked. Which actually goes into the second Let's Play, which originally was going to be Mega Man X4, which I have as part of the X Collection for the PS2, which, like Battle Archives, does not work on the Hapag. So I remember what was originally going to be my first Let's Play. I say originally because two best friends had done a Let's Play on it, but I figured, okay, they don't know that much about it. I've played it a couple times and actually do know a little more about it than they do, so Let's Play number 2 became Final Fight, quote, Streetwise, unquote. This was a lot of fun to put together and edit, but also it made me the saltiest by playing it, the latter parts of it, because that escort mission seriously is such a pain. But I at least got to show off a game not that many people knew about, and I knew more of the harder aspects that the game had to offer, and could go through it really quickly. That's what the edit button was for, thankfully, so I guess I'm thankful I chose not to do this Let's Play first, because otherwise you would have been stuck with like maybe just a 30-minute episode of the escort mission with just my commentary and just me being angry, which by myself wouldn't have been that entertaining, I think. Right around this time, I got 100 subscribers, so I figured I'd start streaming as well on Twitch. So then I'd be able to take from those videos and put them on YouTube. Between this and the Ultimate Muscle PlayStation 2 videos I've uploaded, I was able to figure out what Let's Play number 3 was going to be, bringing us to Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This one was a mixed bag for me by the end, because at one point I got to show off another game I loved and still do to this very day, But on the other, I felt like I did you guys a disservice, seeing as how I bragged, oh, I'm going to get 200.6% for my first time, but it just didn't happen. Like I said, I got 199.8 by the end of it. So it's like 0.8%. Seriously, like, what am I missing? Like 2-3 rooms? I wouldn't even begin to know where to look for them. I swear, I checked that map twice. I'm looking up FAQs and stuff like that, but I don't know. So at times I felt like I couldn't, in good conscience, upload this because I thought I failed the 200.6% run I was originally intending to do. But more games were coming out, and my library was starting to pile up on me, and that's not even counting stuff for just Let's Plays. I mean, in general, just oof. So I sucked it up and finished it. But there was still a lot of fun I had, and my knowledge of the game, while not the best, felt like I could offer something to the few who haven't seen this game before. From then, I'd come up with the idea to let my subs and other people on Skype choose what game I'd Let's Play next, which was more of a test to see how many of my subs actually answer, which would determine whether or not this 100 video special was originally going to be a Q&A segment, but I think only got like 20 people commenting, and that includes people on Skype. So through that, Threads of Fate won in a landslide and decided to do some crazy amateur voice acting, starting to more and more come out of my shell, basically. While somewhat thankful that Another Choice Duelist of the Roses didn't win, so I could see if, okay, during that I'll do a stream play of the Forbidden Memories for the PlayStation 1, which was at times hastily done, and don't know how to edit as easily like I could a Camtasia video, so that's why you see like one of the videos is like really short. It's like a 3-minute video, just me dueling Joey, because I hit something by accident and cut out and came back in. But through that haphazard way of doing things, I somehow got to 99 videos a little sooner than I expected. Anytime I find myself laughing at something the game where I managed to do gets uploaded as well, because laughter is something I always wanted to share. Even as a kid, I wanted to be a comedian, but I didn't have quite the wit that I somewhat have a better grasp on these days. That's how the 2 haiku videos came in, just random things I could think of. Also the shit Rinoa says for Rinoa, that was kind of random, but I think I kind of lost the point of that one particular halfway through, maybe, because it's just stuff I don't say all the time. I don't know. It's not meant to be taken seriously either way. And yeah, I believe that should conclude my history of videos from 1 to 99. I personally want to thank all of you who watch. You help keep me going. You keep this channel going. I'll see you guys next time, and take care.